Hello there. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. I'm just trying something a bit new on Facebook here. So hello to Instagrammers. Good to see you joining. Hi. Good morning. Looks like it's going to be another rather lovely day today, doesn't it? Hey, Bally. Am I remembering the name right? Is it Bal? No, it's Bal. Is it Bal or Bally? Help me remember. Bal or Bally? Kelly, Frankie, hello. I wonder if you guys are staying or just like swiping past. Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Yeah, I was just saying I'm trying, Facebook has this new kind of upgraded live tech, which I've never used before, but it keeps prompting me to try it. So I'm trying it today. And yeah, my screen looks very different, but I think I'm okay. Bal, but I like Bally. Cool. Okay, well, let's just see what comes out. Hi, Joe. Nice to have you. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I can't tell on. Oh, right. Facebook looks really different. Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh, it's all very techy and exciting. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning. Nice to have you. Hi, Shala. Good morning. I love the flower. Thank you. Actually, woken up today, I've been very excited. We've got loads of tulips in our garden, like loads, and they're starting to come out. Some red ones, some yellow ones. They're so beautiful. We've got loads of daffodils as well. It's a very Easter garden. It really does come into its own at Easter time. It's perfect. Who else is going to join? Just going to wait for a minute. How are you all feeling? What's going on for you? I did a bit of a Facebook scroll. Oh, hold on, there's all sorts of weird and wonderful things coming up on my screen. One second. Yeah, I did a bit of a Facebook scroll this morning and connected in with a little bit of news that's going on around and about the world. And yeah, pretty heartbreaking, some of it that I read. It was, yeah, how are you guys feeling at the minute? What's going on for you? What's your experience right now? Are you watching the news? Sorry, bear with me. I know I'm sounding a little bit distracted today. I feel a little bit distracted, so you're probably feeling it. If I'm feeling it, you're feeling it. Just trying to understand this new technology. It's not quite working the same as usual. Good morning, Natalie. Nice to see you. Yeah, so how are you guys feeling today? And have you been tuning in much to the news and the world, or are you staying in your own little bubble? How you doing? Henrique, good to have you. Good morning, everyone. So lovely to have you. Yeah, I felt a little bit thrown this morning by a couple of things I read. But interestingly, that felt important to feel. You know, there's an element of the importance of protecting myself from really allowing myself to be available to feeling too much fear and like tuning into other people's panic and other people's stuff. And I've definitely had a huge break from watching any news, and I've been fairly kind of strict actually with my husband about what he shares with me, because you know he works for the Met in London, so he's got a pretty good idea what's going on. And there's an element of I just kind of need to limit at times, and I have done for quite a few days now, what I know is going on in the world. And then today it feels important that I check in, and I'm going to take a good look at the news today. It's something I very rarely choose to do, but it feels like a social responsibility for me right now. This is where I'm at right now, that I'm just going to check in with what's going on so that I'm aware. I don't want to just live in my privileged little Sussex bubble. And I want to like just connect in and be real. Yeah, so Bal saying not tuning into the news. Ellie saying trying to stay in our own bubble. Yeah, I totally hear you. It's actually bringing up emotion for me right now, just reading that you said that, because I really, really understand. Gosh, it's really bringing it up for me. I'm such an empath. I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. But I really understand the need for self-protection in that way. Joe's saying, staying in my bubble, rarely watch news. I'm sensitive, so I limit it. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I really, really get that. Rebecca's saying, no news at all for me now. Lovely evening doing the clap with my road and then a quiz with my friends online. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, good morning, Nakan. Yeah, we did we actually got pots and pans out last night. All five of us had like pots and wooden spoons. And of course, the children went so crazy with their wooden spoons that they broke all of them. So I've got a pretty funny video of them going mental with the spoons and like holding broken spoons at the end. Ellie's saying, I totally understand asking our other halves not to share too much, as very frightening, but I don't need to know half of it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah. And James has been really good with me, and he's really like backing off. He knows that I just can't handle it. It's interesting. So a couple of years ago, I remember I was watching a film, and it just, for the first time, it occurred to me to ask the people around me when they were watching. There's these fight scenes where people were like really punching each other and stabbing. It was really violent. And I feel that in my body. So when I'm watching TV and I watch someone get punched, I could physically feel it in my body. It's a pretty interesting experience. And I always have. If I see a child fall over, I feel it in my body. And sometimes I feel it like almost like a stabbing pain or a shooting pain. Sometimes, depending on what it is and what I'm seeing, it makes my whole body kind of jolt, but I really feel it. And I remember one time I was watching something and I asked the people around me, when you're watching that, do you feel it in your body? And they all kind of looked at me like I was a weirdo. And I'm like, don't you like, it hurts, doesn't it? You feel it, right? When they get punched, you feel it. And they didn't understand. I wonder if any of you can relate to this. And I've come to realize that we don't know what we don't know. And I just thought I'd always felt that. And I didn't know that other people didn't always feel that. And I'm highly, highly sensitive, and I feel everything. So, when it comes to like what senses which of my senses is the most highly alert, and actually which of my senses is my most intuitive sense, perhaps even my intuitive gift, like what will I receive messages through? And for me, it's a feeling. Some people have sight, some people it's what they hear, all sorts, but I feel very deeply. And I remember a coach a couple of years ago actually sharing with me that my sensitivity was what was so lovable about me. But growing up, actually, my sensitivity is what made me difficult for other people. They didn't like it. I was difficult. My emotional sensitivity was difficult to be around. So that was my programming. It's a big piece of the work that I've done to kind of overcome and really love myself. And it was only 2 years ago that I realized I hadn't acknowledged and accepted and fully loved my sensitivity, that was really unique and special about me. Actually makes me probably a pretty good coach, right? Because I can really feel what's going on for somebody else and have huge empathy. And sometimes I feel what can't be put into words, but it becomes part of their healing, if that makes sense. Ellie says, I always recoil at those things, but others don't even winch. Yeah. Christina's saying, recognize this in myself. Also, earlier this week, I needed to close down for all kind of impact from the outside, closed my mobile, went out in the forest with my hammock and sleeping bag. Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. Spent the whole day just resting and being with myself. Oh, that is stunning. Good for you, Christina. Yeah. Rebecca's saying, I'm very sensitive and checked into the news on Wednesday. Haven't slept properly since. I have to protect myself, so I get very drawn in. Alexis is called the Spirit of God. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Charlotte, I'm the same and very sensitive and takes days to get better. Yeah. So you're relating to each other. Rebecca's saying, I can totally relate to that. I've also found over the last 2 years of meditating, I found it even more. I have to be careful what I watch on TV and at what time of the day and month even. Absolutely. Actually, with that in mind, maybe today is not the greatest of days for me to be tuning into the news, come to think of it. Thank you, Rebecca. Good point. Well made. But, not being funny, but if you're here on this call with me. And for those of you that have been joining me every day, and there's a little crew of you, which I just love, I wouldn't be surprised if you're highly empathic, if you're highly sensitive, if you're really tuned in to energies in the same way. I mean, I believe we all are, every human, we are, because fundamentally, you know, we are all spiritual beings. We are all energetic beings. And some of us are just a little bit more dialed in, just maybe because of our practices, maybe because, like Rebecca was saying with her meditations, it's increased for her. It totally has for me too. You know, before I mean, if you go back sort of 15 years ago, I would have been sensitive, but in a probably quite a disempowered way. I would have been very reactionary to life and people, whereas now I'm way more, don't always get it right, but I'm way more responsive, and I now work with my sensitivity. I can work with my empathic nature. I could absolutely use that in my career, with my clients, in a very, very special, powerful way. So it's fantastic, and something to be protected and really like nurtured and taken care of. Bal is saying, totally understanding this. Yeah, we're all pretty similar. That's why we're here in the same space, right? And so I felt quite guided today to Jo saying she's an empath and INFP. I feel like I know what that is, but I don't know what that is. Can you tell me what INFP stands for, Jo? Yeah, tell me, please. Thank you. You'll even notice then, I feel like I don't know. See, that's my language. I feel it. I don't think it. I feel it. You'll start to notice now. So I felt quite guided today to, I wrote down on a piece of paper, follow your feels. And this is what I want to invite you to today, is to follow your feels, follow your feelings, be guided by your feelings, tune into your feelings. Intuitive feeling led person. Oh, thank you. Well, you've just given a title, Jo, to me, intuitive feeling led person. Yeah, thanks. That's on the money. Big tick. My ego and my masculine self loves to know that. And so, yeah, I invite you to really trust your feelings more. This is the message that I want to share with you today. I want to invite you to trust your feelings more. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about this idea that we feel our thinking, right? So if we're thinking self-harming thoughts, we're going to be feeling not great. When we're thinking self-loving thoughts that support us, it's going to have us feel a hell of a lot better. And there's kind of another level to this, and that's being guided by what you feel and learning to really trust that. And thank you for the hearts. And please, as I'm speaking, and not least because I'm speaking to something that it's unplanned, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but truthfully, I'm actually having a conversation with two different screens here, Facebook and Instagram. So when you send me hearts and love and that, I just feel received. I feel like we're in conversation, which is really supportive. Otherwise, I'm just looking at tech, and actually I'm looking at myself, which is even more distracting. So thank you for that feedback. What am I sharing here? What do I want to share? This idea of getting really ninja at feeling your feelings, tapping into your true feelings and being guided by those. And there's different feelings, and it's about tapping into the feelings that are true for you and the feelings that are really going to support you and move you forward, and not the disempowered feelings, which are usually fear-based, right? So I just want to give you a couple of examples. Yesterday, those of you that are on the call know that I started the day not feeling very well. And I committed to having a very kind of chilled day. I did do some work on the couch with a hot water bottle, and it got to about 3:30, and I wasn't going to do any more work. So I took the afternoon off completely. And I got into bed with another hot water bottle and a cup of tea and my iPad and Netflix. And I love watching Australian TV series because it just makes me feel connected back home to Australia. And it was just such and I'm going to use the words guilty pleasure. And so I needed it. My body was telling me that I needed to rest. And it actually felt really, really, really good. Like, I cannot explain to you just how good it felt to give myself full permission to stay in that bed for as long as I needed to and just totally rest and just watch my show and have a laugh and just feel really, really nurtured. I needed it. And after a few hours, because I was probably there until, probably about 6:30. Yes, I had a good sort of 3 hours just totally relaxing, watching my show, just really taking care of me. And I felt fantastic by the end of it. I felt like I really had, it's kind of all I needed was just to give myself some proper me time, downtime, just doing what made me feel good. It was so basic. But how often do we do that? Right? How often do we do that? And I just literally felt my body going, thank you. All I wanted was just to snuggle up for a couple of hours and just watch telly, just not feel like I had to take care of the kids and, check in on their homeschooling and check in with clients and put out that email and, all that we're doing. It felt so good just to switch everything off and be there for me without guilt. Because here's the thing that goes off usually, like when we feel in our body, like I need to take some time for me, usually what fires up is guilt. And I just like, give me some hearts or some thumbs up or something if you agree. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that. We feel guilt, don't we, at the idea of taking any time off. It's at not being productive because Val's saying, never do this, Katie. Well done. Yeah, right. We don't do it. We don't listen to really what we need because we haven't learned to value just stopping. We haven't learned to value being. We haven't learned to value just putting our health first. Because what do we have to show for it at the end? After quite frankly, after 3 hours curled up in bed watching Netflix, what do I actually have to show for it? Can I show you like figures, numbers on a spreadsheet to prove that I've achieved something? Can I show you a spike in my income? Can I show you that I've ticked off that, and that off my to-do list? Can I tell you what I've achieved? But not in the traditional way, right? And so we've learned to not value it because it's not something external that we can kind of tick. It doesn't prove our value, doesn't prove our worthiness. And so we feel somehow unworthy. We feel guilty, like I'm not doing what I should be doing. I'm not kind of making myself feel significant to myself, to others. I'm not showing up. Like, who am I if I'm not showing up and doing stuff? And so we feel guilty. But the crazy thing is, at the end of that 3 hours, because I gave myself full permission, and by the way, this is something that I am pretty practiced at, and we're going back, it is 2 years ago, I actually did an experiment for a week where I so desired to move way more deeply into my feminine energy, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, that I did an experiment to just take the whole week off at home. I had a couple clients, so I knew I had to show up for them, but otherwise the challenge was to do nothing. Can you imagine? Do nothing. I wasn't even allowed to do yoga if it was a way of kind of having myself feel like I'd achieved something that day, under the guise of, well, it's nothing because I'm just being and in flow and I'm at yoga. If I was doing yoga because it helped me to feel busy in a sense of like achieving something, I wasn't allowed to do it. And so therefore, even my yoga practice became pretty redundant. I don't really know what I did that week. It wasn't a lot. I spent a lot of time spinning my wheels. I spent a lot of time feeling guilty, like really feeling guilty. I felt a lot of time feeling purposeless, pretty pathetic. Just like, what was the point? It was a very, 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 very uncomfortable space to be. But I put myself there and I persisted with it because I knew I had to kind of really familiarize myself and become friends with these voices and this part of me that essentially told me, you're not worthy if you're not in action. You're not valuable if you're not doing. And it got to the point where in the end, and thankfully it was a time of year where it was beautiful weather, and I found myself just like following my feelings. I found myself sunbathing in the garden, completely naked. So I just went out in nature. I mean, thankfully at this point I was living in this, and I was very lucky to have a house that we had no neighbors, and we just backed onto farmland in every direction. So no one could see me. So I had complete privacy. Yeah, I sunbaked naked in the garden. And it was the most incredible, freeing experience. And I really connected with myself. And I realized that, I had an experience, it's hard to put into words, where I am valuable just for being me. Just being on the planet, I'm valuable. Because there's a reason I'm here. My purpose is to be here. It is to have the human experience. It is to be evolving and growing. I don't have to feel valuable from what I'm ticking off my to-do list or how I can tell somebody else what I've achieved. And it was a very enlightening experience, super uncomfortable at times. Ellie's saying, I always clean to feel purposeful. Yeah, that's one of my go-tos as well. And if I don't want to face up to something I know I have to kind of work through or heal or conversation I need to have, if there's feelings I don't want to feel, I'll go clean. Yep, that's totally one of my go-tos because I'm achieving something as well, right? I get to go, oh, look, that's nice and tidy, tick. Natalie, me too. It's my default must achieve. Yeah, totally. And so it felt really good yesterday on the back of having a few hours in bed to just emerge from my cocoon of the bedroom, feeling like I have a real spring in my step, feeling nourished, feeling really kind of cheeky in a really wonderful way. So guilt-free cheek, like I just did that for myself. That's so cool. I'm cool. Like I totally just took a few hours off and I just watched Netflix in the middle of the afternoon. It was really nice. Like I allowed myself full permission to just receive it and it felt so good. And that's, yeah, Rebecca's saying her house is spotless right now. I love that. And even, so I could have followed historically and even currently, like I'm not saying like this is something I still work with. So I could have, when I'm inviting you to follow your feelings, because we're in the habit of being head-led, right? Which is our masculine energy. We follow our heads, we follow our thinking. Largely it's ego, it's belief systems. And we haven't learned how to follow our heart, our soul, our truth, our deepest guidance. No one's taught us how to do that. That's our feminine. Our feminine lives in our body. Our masculine lives in our head. Our feminine communicates through feeling. Our masculine communicates through thinking. We need both. But my invitation to you is to set the intention to start to get good at being led through life by your feelings, which is your intuition. It is the truth of your soul. It's your spiritual self. And it can be a confusing place to exist though. It's like, well, okay, so yeah, I want to learn to live through my feelings. I sense that I need to take the afternoon off. But what I feel about that is guilty. So I'm not going to do that because if I'm following my feeling is guilt. That feels really uncomfortable. It feels really gross. It would feel so much better to just like tough it out and push through and go write that email or do that, thing that I need to do. Everyone's agreeing with the cleaning thing over on Facebook, by the way. Hi, June. And yet that's what we have to learn to dial into is that's a disempowered feeling because in two ways, it's not giving me what I really need to feel good. It's giving me a feeling that doesn't feel great. The guilt is so disempowered that not only in the moment, in this very moment of considering what I need, I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling guilty. But then I don't give myself what I need, and I feel even worse because I've not honored the original need. So it's like a double whammy of not feeling great. So it takes a hell of a lot of courage and bravery to see past those disempowered feelings and move into a space of, but what does my soul need? What's she communicating? What's being communicated from that place? And can I hear that truth? And can I bravely overcome the fear of missing out, of not achieving, of, you know, what people are going to say about me, all the guilt stuff? And can I tune into what I need and block all of that out and trust? This is the key. Can I trust that on the other side of giving myself what I know in my gut I need, I'm going to feel so freaking good. I'm going to have a spring in my step. Like, I didn't feel good yesterday at all. I felt very unwell. After giving myself just a few hours, I cooked dinner, I hung out with the kids. I've woken up this morning with a spring in my step. Like, it's great. I really turned the corner. I just needed to reset. You know, my immune system was clearly fighting off something, but it's strong, and I supported it with what it needed. So another couple of examples I'll give you, doing these calls. Okay, so I see myself, I'm doing these calls every morning. This is like my community service. Now, truth is, for as long as I can remember, I mean, a lot of you know me and I show up quite a lot online and I'm pretty visible, but not to the degree that I know I can be and that I'm actually called to be. Not at all. I, every single day, multiple times a day, have the feeling that, oh, I could share that. I have a thought. I think, oh my God, that would be really helpful to share. I feel very like I just want to get online and teach and share and coach and you know, do my thing. And I stop myself. So the original feeling is this, like, give, share, be more of you. And then a feeling will come in that says, oh, but you know, I'll probably get it wrong and that feels a bit horrible and I might make a mistake, and what if no one shows up, and what if what I say is complete rubbish and I get judged, and anyway I have to look at the state of me, like I'm going to have to do my hair, I'll probably have to put a bit of makeup on, and it'll take ages, and blah, 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 blah. And then I don't do anything. I wonder, any thumbs up, who else can relate to that? Who else runs a business on any level and you just don't show up because of that chat? And it's self-consciousness. Now, can you hear again? The original piece was around guilt. It's all thinking. It's coming from here. This idea of showing up on camera for me is, it's all coming from here. It's self-consciousness. It's ego. It's thinking. It's coming from my masculine mind. But my intuitive self is like, can you just show up and be you? The disempowered feelings easily will stop me, and have done for months, for years. It has taken something globally enormous to have me bloody well get over myself and turn up and just serve without any intention except to just show up and serve. And it's beautiful because it's guided, because it's coming from a good place, because it's coming from my heart and soul. It's an intuitively led experience. It's a win-win. You're winning, you're getting some value, I hope. Those of you showing up every day are telling me, I think, that you're liking this. And I'm getting something from this too, because I'm expressing what my soul wants to express. And so that is a win. That feels good. That's me being me. And that feels really good, actually. Some thumbs up from Rebecca. Thank you. And so to go forward with this and get over the thinking mind and really tap in, but what does my soul desire? It desires for me to speak my truth, to share, to be a teacher, because that's why I'm here, having this human experience. That's why I've experienced all that I have through my life. All of my relationship problems, the death of my mother, the big things, the catastrophic things, the traumatic experiences that I have had that have led me, that have had me had to heal to a degree that, it's been a lot at times. And so now I have to teach, now I have to share, I have to use that experience. I'd be doing myself and the world a disservice not to. That's my soul's, that's what I'm called to do. And so it requires a lot of courage and bravery to listen to that desire and not to what's going on up here. It's been the same every time I've had to choose to invest in coaching. Every time I've chosen to go work with a coach, I've had that, you all know it, the noise, the chat, I can't afford it, that money should go towards that, I need that time to work on that instead of that. It's going to require a lot of energy. I don't know if I can really go there. It feels like a lot right now. It's all up here. It's actually very disempowering, because in the moment of thinking it, I feel rubbish. And then I'm not giving myself what my soul is asking for. So it's a double whammy. I feel rubbish. But if I follow this feeling, my truth, my intuition, my soul, yes, it takes huge bravery and courage and trust and faith. But when I follow the feels and give myself what I need and go hire the coach, it's a stretch. But ultimately, I'm guided and I'm shown the way, and I can deal with it. I can create the resource and capacity to have the energy and attention for it, to have the money for it, whatever is required for it. And then ultimately, that's the most incredible gift of love, right? My sister's joined. Hi, sister. Good to see you. You typed that 3 times. Don't know if you know that. Shala saying, I feel your feelings. Yeah. Just missed that. Hold on 1 second. Can I scroll down? Oh, Shala's message disappeared. Not to worry. Natalie saying, hi, Katie's sister. Oh, yay. Oh, you guys you'd be fun friends. So yeah, does that make sense? That's what I'm feeling. But it's important to I think we all need to get really ninja at following our true feelings, the feelings that are coming from our spirit. And it's when we're able to connect with our feminine energy. And that's what I sort of started the call on. It's like, sorry, I got distracted by a Facebook post from someone saying nice looking. Are you telling me I'm nice looking? Thank you very much. Also a distracting post. Hold on. And so I was saying we're completely addicted to the doing and the action taking, and that's very much our masculine. And it's about connecting in with our feminine and being guided by our feelings. Remember, our feminine feels, our masculine thinks, and we do need both. And especially at the moment, especially right now, we can't think through and have solutions with what's going on right now for ourselves. We really do need to trust our intuition, to trust our guidance, remembering that the feminine is our spiritual self, and it is the piece that part of us, that energy that's plugged into all that is, to source energy. And when we can connect in with that, that's where our most divinely guided, most loving solutions are, right? They're not in here. We think we can figure it out from here. So when we can come from our feminine and trust her guidance and trust what she's saying that we need to feel, it's soul food, right? It's not, when we don't listen to that, we feel soul destroyed. I think that's what we were talking about yesterday or the day before. When we can come from here, that's our soul food. It takes huge trust. But when that part of us guides, that feminine part of us guides our masculine, then our masculine self can then go take action in the world in a way that supports our feminine. But I feel like I'm diving into a whole other level of conversation and training that I know we don't have time for today. Lindy, totally makes sense and really hits deep down. We're fortunate to be on the receiving end of you going live each day. Oh, thank you, Lindy. I really appreciate you saying that. How are you feeling now, by the way? Do you feel like you're coming out the other side? So I guess what I'm inviting you to today is because when there's a lot of fear and panic and worry flying around, and you're feeling it and I'm feeling it sometimes too, it's so easy to tune into our more disempowered feelings, and they seem to feel true. It seems to make sense. But there's another truth underneath that. And I'm inviting you to tap into the other truth, to the more, which will take bravery and courage, but just notice, is what I'm feeling empowering or is it disempowering? Is it serving me? Is it helping me? Or is it sabotaging me? Does it feel like soul food, or does it feel like I'm soul destroying? It's really important that we get really ninja at noticing both. And the disempowered thoughts and feelings, they're there. It's not to make them bad or wrong. It's to actually give them love, to love that part of us that is scared. It probably has good reason to be. It's to love it so much, to throw so much love and light onto it that it just kind of disintegrates. But it takes bravery, and we've got to come back to our truth. What's the point otherwise? And the way to guide ourselves through uncertain times, these times, is to come from our heart and soul. We've all got, most of you probably have some level of financial worry right now. Most of you have probably some uncertainty about the health and well-being of at least one person, How can, you've got to come back to your true power, your true strength, your true wisdom, to be able to respond to all of that uncertainty, to really be there for you, rather than coming from here, which is going to freak you out and put you into a state of panic. Bal's saying, Katie, what you're doing is such a gift. Thank you so much. I want to give you a really tight hug. Thank you. Thanks. That's so lovely. Thank you. I'd hug you right back. Natalie, I'm the same. It's the most incredible gift at this time. I'm so glad. Well, it's pretty cool, isn't it, that we're all showing up every day doing this, just being in it together. It's pretty amazing, really amazing. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate how, valuable your time is, and that you would choose to spend. And, let's be honest, we're doing pretty much an hour every morning. It's pretty cool. Ellie's saying it really is the best thing to have happened in this time. Yeah. Thanks, Ellie. I feel that. I really feel that. Thank you. Paraskevi is saying, I have lost my self-trust. I took it back by journaling. I have lost it again now. I wonder how it turned wrong. My decisions when at first was so hell. Yes, from my gut. How could you get your self-trust back then, Paraskevi? There's a slight, I'm not fully understanding your message, because I think there's a slight language. I don't think English is your first language, but actually what you've written is rather beautiful. And if I'm understanding you right, you're desiring to get your self-trust back. And I think, we all experience losing self-trust, and that's like, I think my feeling is that that's like losing our connection to ourselves. And how about we do a little meditation now? Maybe it's time to just sit and do some breathing and just connect in with the truth of who we are, and begin to connect in with our feminine essence, and choose to be guided by that. And maybe that will help you to rebuild your self-trust, just to connect back into that. Sophie's saying, gift. Yes, this is such a beautiful gift, Katie. Thank you. You're welcome, Sophie. Thank you for saying so. Paraskevi, this makes me trust myself and become slow at decisions. Yeah, well, that's right. When we don't trust ourselves, we do become slow at making decisions. I hear you. So it is about building that, and it's a process. And I hope that I've been really clear every day in saying that it is the daily work. This is a daily practice. It's not like I found myself, job done, just carry on as normal. It's like, no, like I was saying yesterday, we have this human amnesia, this transformational amnesia, where we do actually have to remember who we are, remember our power, remember our truth on a daily basis. Hence why daily practices, daily spiritual practices, daily self-love practices, whatever you want to call your practice, you got to have your practice that has you connect with you and come home with you. We all need that. It's really important. If your practice is going for a run and just being really fully present with you, that's your practice. You don't have to sit in meditation. You've got to find your own way. That's what I believe. I think we've got to find our own way, and we each know what our way is to really deeply connect in. The beginning of my journey, journaling was key. I journaled and journaled and journaled and journaled. I've got piles of them. That was very important to me at that time. I still journal. I've always got a journal on the go. Meditation is also very important to me. Just spending time with me is really, it's like, that's how we build trust, and it's how we sustain self-trust. Yeah, that's okay, Periscope, no problem. I think it's brilliant that you're turning up and just communicating. It's awesome. It's awesome. So let's just spend some time. Let's just hang out together for a minute with closed eyes. Just get comfortable in your body. Shift however you need to shift around in your seat. Just feel really comfy, really cozy. Just allow yourself to really drop in and feel how nice it feels to rest inside your body, the home of your feminine. Maybe just take a moment to let the last 40 minutes or so of chat to just drop in. Just breathing. Just allow yourself to feel the resonance of the message that I was sharing. Just allow yourself to drop any judgment, drop any resistance, maybe even drop any need to understand or get it right. Just allow yourself to feel the resonance of the energy of the message that I was sharing. Just in a way that feels really true for you. There's something within that that's for you. Might be just one tiny little nugget. But what could you take away from our conversation this morning? What feels really good for you? Was something said that really hits home for you? Was there an invitation inside anything that I said that is inviting you to be brave and courageous and follow the feelings of your true self and not the disempowered feelings of the mind created by thoughts in the mind? Just take a moment now to notice in yourself the difference between feeling a disempowered thought and feeling the callings of your soul. Two very different feelings. And one will take you where you're meant to go, what feels true for you. It's soul-led. And the other will take you into like the washing machine of the human mind and ego that just spins round and round and round. It's exhausting. Just allow yourself to breathe. Notice where your breath is going. Just feeling your energy just dropping into your body. Just choosing to be fully present here for you now. Acknowledging through just loving yourself enough to be still, to breathe, and to set the intention to connect with your true self. Noticing how good that feels, how good it feels to come home to you. If you like the experience, we've done this a few times this week, of just putting your hands on your heart and breathing into your heart and letting your breath go with a sigh so that you can feel the resonance in your heart, the vibration in your heart. It's a lovely experience that helps you to drop even more into your body and feel more at home. And just tuning in, and I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. I've got a family of 3 children and my husband downstairs being really noisy. I'm doing my best to stay present. So I invite you to do the same. Zone it out. There's always noise around us. Always noise. No such thing as the perfect meditation. So just breathing in and connecting with you. And just noticing that you have everything you need right now. Just connecting with the truth that your feet are on the ground, that your body is being held to the earth by gravity, that there's oxygen in the air for you to breathe, that right now, right here, in this moment, you're okay, you're safe, you can trust yourself, you've got everything you need. Just breathing into the truth of that. Just breathing in. If you've got your hand on your heart, leave it there. If you haven't, I invite you to put your hands on your heart. And just take some time now to breathe the words, I am safe, into your heart. I am safe. Just keep repeating those words in your mind. I am safe. If it feels really good for you right now, maybe even say those words out loud. I am safe. I am safe. No matter what's going on around me, I am safe. Even when I feel my disempowering thoughts. I'm still safe. No matter what, no matter my fear, no matter my uncertainty, no matter what I don't know, don't think I have the answers to, I'm safe. No matter what other people think or say, I'm safe. Even when I don't trust myself, even when I forget my power, even when I give my power away, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Notice any thoughts that are coming up for you. Notice any fear-based thinking or sabotaging beliefs that might be coming up right now. Just fully acknowledge them. And maybe let them know, I'm safe. Even though I'm thinking that thought, I'm safe. And notice your feelings. All the range of feelings. And acknowledging that no matter what I feel, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. And I invite you now to remember that it's safe to trust your intuition. It's safe to trust the desires of your soul. It's safe to follow the feelings of your spirit, of your feminine essence. It's safe. It's so safe when we allow ourselves to bravely be guided by our most empowered true feelings. It's from there that life, the universe, God, source energy can hold you and guide you and support you and show you the way. It will find you the solutions. And ultimately, that's your soul food. You're safe to follow your inner guidance. It's safe to trust yourself deeply. The human experience, the human mind, our human conditioning, our human society will do a really good job at showing us and proving to us the fact that it's otherwise. But it's not fact. It's fear. And remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. It feels so real. But that's our disempowered thoughts that we're feeling. It's not our truth. I am safe. Breathe that into your heart. I am safe. I choose to remember I'm safe. I love to spend time every day connecting with the truth that I'm safe. Whenever I feel pulled into fear, start to feel disempowered, I'm setting the intention now to take a few moments to myself to just breathe, put my hand on my heart, and remind myself I'm safe. I'm setting the intention to love myself enough to be my own best friend, to have my back, to really be there for me. In those moments, I'll put my hand on my heart and lovingly tell myself the truth. I am safe. I am safe. Just breathe in that. Feel the resonance of that. And maybe with a smile on your face, feel how good it's going to feel to go out into your day today. Vibrating with the resonance of this morning's conversation and the connection to the truth that you're safe. You can go out bravely today and be you, be fully you, be the most empowered, loving version of you. The people you love most are going to love that. When you're ready, just bring yourself back into the room. Notice your feet on the ground, your bottom on the seat. Maybe have a stretch. Start to hear the sounds around you. Have a stretch and a yawn. And open your eyes. And when you're ready, maybe just type one word in to wrap up today's session. Just one word. You're welcome to write more if you want, but one word, just saying how you're feeling right now. How are you feeling? Natalie's saying that was so juicy. I love that you've taken on the word juicy. Such a good word. Juicy. Natalie's feeling juicy. How are you all feeling? Just a word will suffice to end off the session today. Natalie's also feeling feminine. That's beautiful. Bal's feeling love. Ellie's feeling hopeful. That's so nice. Hopeful. That's a lovely feeling. Raina's feeling connected. Joe's feeling inspired. Rebecca's open and awake. Stunning. Stunning. Sophie's saying healing. So healing. Paraskevi's feeling safe. So glad. Lindy's feeling peaceful. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. What a pleasure it's been to hang out with you this morning. Thank you so much. June, you're a beautiful soul. Me. Yes, me. I love that, June. You are a beautiful soul. Hello, Mukesh. Nice to have you. Okay, right. Time to say goodbye. Thank you, sweets. Right back at you, Joe. Thank you. Thanks, Ellie. Paraskevi feels one step back to myself. Brilliant. Awesome. Job done. Love that. Thank you for sharing. Love you all. Gotta go. Mwah. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Rebecca. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.